Hello, y'all. So it's the next few seconds. It's 12:02 now, and I'm still working on my homeless ebook. But the perps are trying. They don't want me to get my. They don't want me to get my ebook stories out. They don't want me to talk about my life, my targeting life, and my homeless life and stuff. They're trying to silence me, trying to make me shut up, or about I said in my previous video about how the ever since I was working on my ebook, they've been sleep depriving me like crazy. And I know 2 hours of sleep is better than no sleep, but it's still horrible. And so I'm not trying to even profit or make a lot of money off of my ebooks. And I'm still detailing my personal life about my ebooks. And it's personal, not like a professional thing, but I know I'm not the best writer. And I don't even care about being fancy or being perfect or anything like that. I'm just getting my story out. And it's a struggle and debate on whether to name names or and I have to be fair with one. I mean, I have to be fair with everybody. If I name one perp, I have to name them all. So I'm struggling and wrestling with myself on whether or not to name names in my ebooks about my perps in relation to my homelessness and targeting. And so it's like if I don't want to single people out, and I don't want to choose favoritism, but like it's like I don't know. It's like when professed targeted individuals speak out against their targeting, they not only name names, but they give addresses and phone numbers of their perps and where they live at. And so it's like, you know, even if I'm just doing YouTube videos and not making any money off of YouTube videos, but if the perps people try and make it like the perps have a right to sue you for slander. Like, why is it just me? It seems like the people who are the fake TI perps, they can name names. All right, this person, I think she's a perp. Come on my channel. Her name is Karina Alvarado. Okay, all right, never mind. It was a different comment. It wasn't related to me. It was a comment that that on another person's channel. Um, I'm looking at my phone. You see, it's a lot of shootings and killings in New Orleans metro area. Metairie is supposed to be the elitist, where the rich, proper white people are. You know, so yeah, so I'm not gonna take back my words. But I mean, I'm looking at the video. I mean, not the video, but the video got 20 more minutes remaining. Me talking about my cousin that got shot and killed, but I mean, my family do perp me, and Blake, uh, when he was alive, he was perping me too. So, um, speaking of Blake, I forgot to mention because of time constraints on my video ran out of time, but Blake, I heard that when Blake got shot and killed, his own dad, Daryl, who died less than a year and a half later, Daryl had yelled. I heard like my nephew Raymond was saying that Daryl had yelled at Blake and said, "Get up, Blake! Get up! Get up! Get up, Blake!" And he had got shot and killed. And I hear different stories. Like some people say that Blake got shot in the chest and shot in the heart, point blank, and died instantly. Then um, the biological sister Ramona said that Blake turned around and ran across the street, and he got shot and killed, and that he got shot in the back, and that the bullet pierced through his heart, and then he ran across the street, and he was laying there for a little while, and then died a little later, and he was pronounced dead at 11:36 p.m., which was 3 minutes away from 11:33. And there was a picture of Blake wearing red, and I mean not all red, but Blake and his cousins of his dad's side of the family wearing a lot of red, and they all drive red cars. Like, I'm not wondering what's the obsession with their worship of red, just because their skin color is the complexion of white people. And in New Orleans, if your skin color is light, you get called red bone or red. But they worship the color red, wearing red clothes and everything. Even Blake was wearing a lot of red. So, whore Rebecca, his sister, was hardly even much crying at his funeral. But she was the one who set up the GoFundMe. But then she broke down and was weak at Daryl's funeral, the dad, and she got an attitude. She got an attitude and pushed me off of her when I tried to comfort and console her. And drunk lady Yvonne did the same thing at Blake's funeral. Yvonne and Daryl got an attitude, and my cousin Daryl Jr., who they call Do, they rough handled and pushed me off of them when I tried to hug and console them. And I left them some gifts, and they got, and that was all. I mean, I didn't have much money, but I gave them some gifts, and they deliberately disrespected me and left the gifts sitting around on purpose. But Yvonne was glad to take my $20 without hesitation. And so, when I was passing back and forth, and Rebecca was in disguise, and she was wearing blue hair and I think blue clothes, and she had on sunglasses, and I passed by her back and forth in the church, and they had Rebecca had this smirk with this attitude every time I passed. And even a year later, it was a Sunday, December 10th, 2017, and I was suffering sleep deprivation then. And so Rebecca was even rude as fuck and had an attitude with me in church, at church. When they had, a year later, they had a specific ceremony dedicated to Blake. A year later, at the exact same church where they had the funeral at, because that's their family church, or whatever, that Catholic church on St. Bernard Avenue in New Orleans. I don't even remember the name of the church, but it's on St. Bernard Avenue, and I don't even remember that street. Close to AP Turo, somewhere around there. But I can't remember the cross street, but it's not that far. not all that far from the interstate in North Claiborne Avenue, and it's right by the rallies. And they have a Dollar, like some kind of super Dollar General, and I think there's a cell phone place over there. And so, and for Blake's funeral and Daryl's funeral, I don't like the way I was treated by the family members. Even for Daryl's funeral, the biological brother, the youngest one, Dirty Derica, you know, was acting like he was perping me, treating me mean and for no reason and stuff, and avoiding me. And he criminally, illegally, and undeservingly had that nice ass, brand new, pearly off white Dodge Journey. So you love your half cousins. Yeah, I say half cousin because Yvonne, the biological aunt Yvonne, and the biological mom Frances, they're half sisters. Not They don't have the same mom and dad. They have the same mom but different dads. So even my niece, Hellface Ugly Monica, who's that retard Ramona's daughter, um, they act like as if they're more important in the family than I am, or they got more authority and say so. Like when for Blake's funeral, Monica thought that she had the authority to restrict me from riding in a family funeral limousine. And when she saw me off first sight and got an attitude, got really nasty with me and was talking shit about me to her new boyfriend and was laughing at me and stuff like that at the damn funeral. Because she was still mad at me and grudging against me from what happened in 2015 when Blake told me, you're unwanted, don't come down here and stuff like that. So the family will never change. But you can't call me a hypocrite if you're doing wickedness and you sold out to the devil, but you masquerade as this Catholic Christian slut. And you're going to talk about me being a fucking hypocrite. So, I know I kind of got off topic, but I mean, there was more stuff. But yeah, Monica had me ride in the, her friend. Oh, it just slipped my mind what that girl's name is. I can't believe it slipped my mind what that girl's name. Erica, I think her name is. Now Monica can treat her friends that she just met way better than you treat me. I'm your niece, but you know they treat me like it's my own fault that we were in foster care, and they condemn us for it and hate us and shun and reject me and my twin sister. But I'm supposed to be considered the lowest of the low in the family. The family, they would perp Sean, but they turned Sean against me too. Sean has zero love or respect for me. I can't even get Sean back. They turned you know, Daryl Jr., who they call Do, they brainwashed him against me. He was the last one in the family. But they even trying to get the kids, they even trying to put stuff in the kids' head and brainwash them about me. When they don't even know any facts about me. Like you only, and you keep me at a certain distance. You keep me at a certain distance, and you know, treat me like you know everything about me, like as if I deserve to be just judged, condemned, and punished. But you don't know anything. All you know is the lies and rumors. That's all you know. What you heard about me. But they don't get to know the real Candy Grand Prix for who she really is. I'm not a criminal. I promise you, I'm not a criminal. But y'all brainwashed in the hive mind in this program, and y'all the first ones to try to get people locked up in a mental institution if you mention don't get that vaccine, or if you mention if you mention anything away from the fake government narrative about what's going on, oh, you're a terrorist. So I know that the biological gay brother Mark would have thought I was out of my fucking mind if I would have told him that, I'm on a terrorist watch list, being stalked and followed and harassed by a whole community of people. But he's in on it too. I told y'all about the perp things he's done. And I told y'all about the perp things that retard Ramona has done. Other family members. I just told y'all about family members perping me at fucking funerals and shit. And so Daryl's funeral was the last funeral I went to. I'm not going to any more family funerals. I hope I'm not next. But if I am next, well, I'll just be next. But if I'm still alive and another family member died before me, I'm not going to any more family funerals. And I said that before Blake even died. I wanted to, but I didn't get to go to Belinda's funeral in 2003. I wanted to, but I didn't get to go to the biological parents' funerals, 2 months apart in 2013. They say Arthur's not my dad. I almost died on the same day that he died. And didn't realize till like the next day, that he lost his life or whatever, that he died at 82 years old. And that retard Ramona tried to keep secret from me or try to hide from me what he died of. And I hate that people keep it secret from me, my family genealogy. And are y'all trying to hide Freemasonry, a Masonic bloodline from me? Like, excuse me, what are y'all trying to hide? In y'all little cover story is, Arthur's not your daddy because you're not light skinned like him. But you don't say that Monica is not Larry's child because she's not dark like him. That retard Ramona, she been hiding Larry from me for years. And she'll lie to people and say, oh yeah, y'all met before. They met before. I never met Larry. Like for Daryl's funeral, she wait until after the repast was over to tell me that Larry was there. And I'm like, well, why didn't you tell me or introduce him to me? Her children's father. And, even Wyatt exposed Ramona with that in 2005 before Hurricane Katrina, when they got into an argument. And Wyatt's like, yeah, sleeping with married men. Because how the fuck you going to have 2 children for the same man that's married to another woman? She was in a relationship with that Puerto Rican guy, Amigo, who was married to another woman. And then afterwards, that his wife had died after him and Ramona had got together. And they were still together. Like, why every man you link up to is married? But now she got this boyfriend named Elliot. She ain't never gonna marry him. But I don't even know if they officially broke up. But she'd been dating Elliot for years. And, Elliot, he ain't mentally got it all. But he's a scam artist and narcissistic abuser, sociopath. Elliot is the type of person you need to stay the fuck far away from. You got to stay far away from Elliot, because Elliot will try to set you up. He ain't mentally got it all, but he'll set you up to get in loads of trouble with the law. He dangerous, and the rest of the family's like that too. So yeah, I know I'm randomly talking about a whole bunch of different things, but I was originally talking about, my book on my homelessness. It's not a specific autobiography, but it's a book on me talking about my homelessness experiences, and I'm talking a little bit about foster care experiences. And I don't even know if I should, yeah, like having to go back and put everybody's name in there, and then I'll take the names out, and, you know, struggling, on whether to name names on people who were perping me in the, people in the ebook, the homeless people throughout the years, and the staff at shelters perping me. And a lot of people I don't remember, but some people I still remember. But they had this lady, one of the ladies, that was perping me in New York. I'm not supposed to mention her name because what she did was she started perping me when I first got to the shelter in New York, and like picking on me and stuff. And now she lied and said that she just got out of prison, and that she went to prison for 20 years because she shot. Supposedly, her cover story, her front and her lie was that she shot and killed her husband because she got tired of him, beating on her or whatever. Sounds similar to Andrea's story, but this was a white lady. And come to find out, I Google searched her name to see whether or not she was dead or alive. She's apparently still alive, but I can't mention her name because they say you're not supposed to reveal stories about sex offenders or anything like that. You know, well, you're not supposed to go and reveal it, or you're not supposed to retaliate against sex offenders. But this lady, I was shocked to find out that she was in prison for 20 years for molesting foster children. Not, and she was a registered sex offender, and her husband were molesting foster children, and that's the real reason why she was in prison for 20 years. So I refuse to listen to a sex offender order me around and tell me what to do and treat me like everything I did or say is wrong. So for all the multiple lies and false accusations, you are not going to find my name on any registered sex offenders list. But they had those rumors and smear campaigns, and people believe it. So the main people, family members, foster or biological, who want to start false rumors and smear campaigns and lie on you and say you're a sex offender, those are the main people who always want you to babysit their kids for free and watch their kids, and they don't offer you any money for babysitting or watching their kids all day, every day for hours. And you ain't gonna find any molestation on me. So, you know, me, you know, dealing with trying to get the story out there with my homelessness um experiences. Now I do remember in 2011 at New Image Fresh Start in Los Angeles on 8720 South Figueroa Street. They said that place shut down. So at New Image Fresh Start, there was a lady who they said was crazy and out of her head, and more like complete insanity in court or whatever. Um, they said she molested a 7-year old, was repeatedly molesting a 7-year old girl and gave her an STD. And so I don't know if they put that lady away or if they put her in jail or prison. They said that she was molesting the girl at the shelter at the time. I didn't know. I mean, I didn't physically see it for myself, but I overheard it. You know. Plus, it was talked to. They talked to me about it. Not the staff, but some of the residents. So I don't even think I even knew that lady's name, and that lady wasn't there for that long at all. You know. Then there was another lady. Well, I would call her. She was younger than me, I think. Her name was Dana, and she was another one. I heard they said that her whole entire family was like insane or crazy, and you know, Dana didn't know any better, and her belly was small to have been like 9 months pregnant. And I remember she mentioned she was 9 months pregnant, but looked like she was like 4 or 5 months pregnant. And so, um, they try to make it like she was super crazy or whatever. But you shouldn't have put her on psych medications in the first place. That psych medications made her that way. She wasn't. I promise you, she wasn't born that way. Or if her parents must have been doing hard drugs or something while she was pregnant with her. But they said that whole family is the way she was. So Dana was talking about being like very horny or whatever at one time, and like she was pregnant, and but she wasn't a sex offender or nothing like that, you know. But it was one Saturday morning. I think it was I could be. I think I remember the date. I think it was Saturday, November 19th, 2011. And she I mean, I haven't talked about this in the book, but I'm just telling y'all, because that's not my experiences. Those are other people's homeless experiences. But so I don't even know. I've been too exhausted and and I've been at the same time anxious to get the book out. But I'm like, I want to be patient and wait and take my time. I don't want to rush into it because I just want to take my time with this ebook. And so I know if I sell it for $2.99, people are gonna call me a fool or call me stupid or saying that you're shortchanging yourself or this or that, whatever. But me just trying to be nice, and so like I don't because I don't want to sell it for the highest price or anything like that. But me just trying to be generous and sell it for a cheaper price, the lowest price, just me not wanting to overcharge or be money hungry or nothing like that, even though I am struggling. And this is my work. Other people can have their own businesses. Other people can just sit down and be an author. So why can't I? Why y'all expect me to go and apply at Wendy's where they're gonna turn me down anyway? So I had to find my own job. So anyway, back to Dana. So they said she had a baby that Saturday morning, and when she had the baby, they said that everybody was surprised that they said that she cleaned the baby up, and they said that the baby was a newborn, but they said she did pretty good. See, they try to underestimate the so-called crazy woman, and y'all got mental health, so-called mental health problems too, and they were homeless, and with the homeless mental health thing, just like in New York, the homeless mental health shelter. So New Image Fresh Start was like a transitional homeless mental health shelter in LA, in Los Angeles. So you can't be homeless with mental health problems yourself and call another person uh mental and crazy. So nah, you being a hypocrite, you do that. So with Dana, when they said that she cleaned the baby up and put baby oil on the baby and was feeding the baby, baby food, rather than milk or whatever. And they said, oh, she did pretty good, but I don't know what happened to Dana after that. And then, because I remember when I first met Dana at New Image Fresh Start, and she walked up, she walked up and was like, "What the fuck you looking at?" I'm like, "Well, wow, okay, I wasn't even looking at you," and they were perping me there too. I didn't realize it. The staff especially, and I had more issues with the staff than the actual residents at the New Image Fresh Start. And so they had this guy named Kaz. I used to call him the greedy grizzly bear. He was a gang stalking perp and demand being a control punk hoe fucker. He was started off nice and cool, but then got hateful and turned against me. He's a narcissistic abuser as well. And I had to talk about touch on a little bit of my mental health experiences, but I was planning on doing a separate book on mental health. My personal mental health system experiences. And I'm not going to entitle that the Psych World, because I have a different vision now of entitling my other ebook, The Psych World, because the Psych World is part of the system, and we gang stalked and targeted by the system because we won't conform to the norms of society. So, um, so, me talking about my personal experiences and research about the Illuminati New World Order and how twisted this whole world is. That's going to be my book about the Psych World. But in 2009, I was going to write an ebook. Before I found out the truth about Illuminati New World Order or anything like that, or gang stalking or anything, I was going to write a book and entitle it The Psych World, and talk about my personal experiences with the mental health system. And even then, I didn't know the truth, what was going on. But in New York City, New York, excuse me, they think homelessness is a mental illness. And there's this kind of organization or something like called or Department of Mental Hygiene. That's fucking eugenics. Dana in Los Angeles was not a crazy person, but a victim of eugenics. And they probably put all kinds of vaccinations and I don't know what they did to her to make her the way she was, but I'm going to defend Dana as a victim, and not in a bad light, but People make it like you're a bad person if you're a victim. Something's wrong with you for being a victim. No, the perpetrators are the bad people. So my heart goes out to Dana. You know, I don't know Dana's last name, but I remember Dana. So, damn, every time I hear the name Dana, it makes me think of the foster mom's sister, Dana. Dana's perfume used to smell like, she used to wear a perfume that smelled like the cinnamon red disc candy or Red Hots. The Red Hots candy. um, the little Red Hots candy and stuff like that. So, and then, the singer Aaliyah, her name was Aaliyah Dana Houghton. So, that's, another person with the name Dana. Well, her middle name was Dana. So, uh, so anyway, um, so that girl Dana, wow, she, I wonder I don't know what's going on in her life now. I know it's not my business, but I'm just hoping she's okay and hoping. I mean, I didn't hear like she never came back to New Image Fresh Start, or I never heard anything since. Since that day, she never came back, and I don't think, and I never heard from her. So they try to use that to make it like as if you don't deserve to live, so you deserve to be like killed or something. I hope they didn't sacrifice her child. And I don't remember if she had a boy or a girl, you know. So I'm hoping that they didn't sacrifice that child or anything like that to justify, well, Dana's crazy, so her child is going to be crazy and her whole entire family's crazy. Something's wrong with all of them or whatever. So I'm hoping that wasn't, you know. But anyway, um, so the homelessness after Union Rescue Mission that I call Separation Torture Mission. I mean, they perked me there from day one to the last day I was there. And whatever lies they talked about, lies and over exaggerations that they talked about, you know, they relayed that to the fake Kedron place. And I talked a little bit about, the lady from Portals and Kedron Mental Health and Portals. They act like as if they treat it more like a business. I never seen a mental health facility run like a business and act like they're trying to recruit people, like recruit mental health patients. And so they're definitely making a lot of money off of that. So Kedron Mental Health, they was the one who got me into New Image Fresh Start, and they were playing all kinds of psychological games. They were perping me with the food at New Image Fresh Start, and I mean, I don't want to say a whole, like, go into details on my everything, but I just remember they were perping me with the food at New Image Fresh Start, and they were perping me at Union Rescue Mission, what I call Separation Torture Mission. And the fake Kedron Mental Health place, Kedron, people at Union Rescue Mission, like Miss Thelma with the Jerry curl, she looked like the biological mom Frances and Miss Ollie from the Stinking Crab family mixed in together. And I used to call her Jerry Dykes because she had the freaking Jerry hardcore Butch Van Dyke bully with the damn Jerry curl. And they were anxious to get me out of there and was sick and tired of me. I'm such a bad person. So the lady from the fake Kedron place, her name was Jennifer Singleton, and she had like greenish blue eyes, and she was light skinned. She wasn't Hispanic. She refused to tell me what she was mixed with, but she could have been Creole because they have a lot of the New Orleans Creoles who migrated from they migrated to Los Angeles from what I heard. So it's a lot of light skinned, green eyed people. The same kind of Creoles you see in New Orleans, you see some of them in Inglewood, because in Los Angeles they're racially segregated and sit different areas. I lived in the poor areas of South Central, was darker color, like dark skinned and brown skinned black people, and the illegal Mexicans and a few people from El Salvador. And then they had, the further west you go is the, like, farther east, like south, wait, hold on, South Gate and Huntington Park is strictly Hispanic. Mexicans, people from El Salvador, Guatemala, different countries. And so then where I was at, by Manchester McKinley, it was mixture of blacks and Hispanics. But you'll see a Hispanic woman with a black man, but you ain't gonna see no Hispanic man with a black woman. But they want to play our music and act like they think they're like us. So then after that, it's like that until you get to close to Inglewood. Hardly any Hispanics, but it's the light skinned Creoles. Um, some of them will look Hispanic or pass for Hispanic, and they're in Inglewood. And then you go farther west and Westchester and stuff like that, and where you have Latigera and what's the name? Some of those streets. Latigera is one of them. It's over by the Hilton Hotel, close to the airport and stuff like that. LAX airport is where the rich, proper white people are. Then the farther west is the richer. It's even more rich people. Rich, proper white people. And like Playa del Rey and Marino del Rey is where a lot of the celebrities live at. Where their homes are. Like Debo from Friday. It was plastered all over YouTube and all over the news that he died yesterday. And I think they say I could be wrong, but I think they were saying he lived in Marino del Rey. And Kanye West's mom, Donda West, was living in Playa del Rey. I went to Playa del Rey Beach a few times. Not that many. I didn't really like that beach. But I've been to Playa del Rey. And so, I didn't get to go to all beaches in Los Angeles, but I've been to over 5 beaches, and like maybe about 6 or 7 beaches. But the beaches kind of suck. Oceanside in San Clemente is beautiful, gorgeous, especially when you're riding on the Metro Link. It's just so beautiful over there. So anyway, back to the homeless story. I mean, the people at Union Rescue Mission, they put stuff in the Kedron people's head about me. The staff at my own therapist, Risha Dugal, she was Indian from India but Americanized, and she was perping the fuck out of me really bad. And it seemed like their goal was to try to set you up to get locked up in a mental institution. And they try to make it like as if I couldn't get housing until or unless I agreed to mental health services and being, yeah, that main word to say was make sure you're being compliant. Compliant with their main theme, you know. So I stopped going, once I got my housing, I stopped going to casual mental health. And then, well, before I got my housing, I mean, between going New Image Fresh Start, they made a setup, set me up to get kicked out. Um, oh man, it's like I'm too tired to even tell the whole story, you know. But someday I will, you know. But they made it like as if the Kaz guy, he set everything up to where that I had my own room for the longest, and then he dragged this lady up in there, and me and her couldn't get along, and it's like, why would you do this to me? Like, why didn't you tell me in advance? Like, why didn't you prepare me for this? All I know is this new roommate come there, and wait a minute, hold up. I think she was already there, and her name was Cheryl Jenkins, and she had a whole bunch of just stuff that she found, and me and her got into it really heavy, because I'm like, what the fuck is this? You know, that all her belongings took up the stuff that she found, took up just took up the whole room and just made me feel cramped in and nervous and stuff. But she tried to front like she can be cleaner than me, and me and her didn't get along. She would blast the TV really loud. That's why I freaking hate roommates and stuff, you know. So then they just all of a sudden, without announcing, just sent me over to because before this guy named Victor James is what his name is. And Victor, I used to call him the unvictorious fag. He wasn't gay or anything, but his ugly ass wife, Pam, who I call her ugly hell dyke hoes. Ugly hell dyke hoes, Pamela Driscoll. Yeah, I'm airing y'all out and naming y'all fucking names. Pamela Driscoll. Ugly hell dyke hoes is a narcissistic abuser. And the fake Kedron people had, you know, when they sent me to New Image Shelter, Victor, I first met Victor because I don't remember what problem I had. Or maybe, I don't remember what issue I had with the room. But I think it was before they set Miss Cheryl up to be in my room. And so, Victor was like the substitute for the day. He was the substitute and taking Kaz's place for the day. And Victor was on the phone when I first saw him, and I think he was he fixed something in the bathroom, and Victor will front like he's a handyman, and he didn't even do a good job. He does not do a good job but he'll front like he's a handyman that can fix shit, and then he makes it more broke than you know. So I remember the only lady there that didn't perk me was a lady from New Orleans named Lolita. And I don't think I knew or remember Miss Lolita's last name. She was the only one who didn't perk me there. All the other staff, those ladies, I don't even remember their names. But I remember a few of the nicknames that I gave for them. Like this girl, she was a year younger than me. And I don't remember the kind of, she used to drive, I don't remember what kind of car she drove, but she used to wake me up at close to exactly 7 o'clock every morning, blaring 702 song, Get It Together. Let's Get It Together. That exact same song every fucking day. That's the one who kept trying to drill it in my head that I should be compliant. And then we had to have a sign-in sheet every morning. Um, and I remember seeing somebody being called a gatekeeper. And I'm like, gatekeeper, what's that? But I can't even remember that girl's name. But I used to call her pregnant, greedy weave hose because she was pregnant and, overweight and greedy for control, a narcissistic abuser, and she used to wear weave. So that's why I used to call her pregnant, greedy weave hose. And I heard that a rumor that her and the Kaz guy were like fornicating with each other, that she already had her own man and Kaz already had his own woman, and that they would flirt and do stuff on the job. And it was rumored that she was pregnant with Kaz's baby. And then she used to give me a lot of food. I think she was the only one who used to give me well, not a lot of food, but um, she used to give me more than the others. And then I think you were able to get seconds. So the other girl, I used to call her crusty funky hose because she had a bad attitude and stuff like that. And you try to call her name to her attention to ask her for something, she's like, what? She acted just like my biological cousin, Whore Rebecca. And she used to be like, what? And she used to get an attitude and turn her nose up and had just shitty attitude. So what she used to do was she used to feed me more food than I asked for, more food than I wanted, and then call me greedy. I didn't ask for or want all that food, but she used to give me way more than what I wanted, and then call me greedy, and play all kinds of psychological games. Then this lady, I don't know what race she was, but she talked articulate and proper like white people. And I don't know if she was Hispanic or Native American or mixed race. But I don't even think I knew her name. But dinner is at 6:30. I go down for dinner at 6:30. And she'd be like, it's all gone, it's all gone, it's all gone, it's all gone. Like saying it's all gone. Saying all the food is gone. Like she threw it away on purpose before I can even get downstairs. So I'm left with no dinner to eat that night. So while they just played all kinds of games and did me dirty, and like the Union Rescue Mission, where I talked about the perping and abuse that went on there. Everybody, a whole entire dorm full of 150 people perping you and abusing you, and you go to you go to the bathroom in the middle of the night. You're forced to use the bathroom in the dark. And I talked a little bit about Union Rescue Mission in the ebook. And you're forced to eat nothing but pork and corn, and people get food poisoning. And well, when you got to use the bathroom in the middle of the night, you're forced to use the bathroom in the dark. And if you're lucky enough to have a flashlight, every single bathroom stall has piss. It has piss, shit, vomit, and everything like piss, shit, and vomit and blood and everything bodily fluid that you can imagine on every toilet seat every morning. And then I heard that the men, which was in this this program, probation or whatever program, they were forced to clean up the women's toilets. And it's the same cycle every night there. A fucking nightmare. So it's like if you can't beat them, join them situation. So I was not going to even get near or squat over the damn toilet. And so I had no choice but to either pee on myself or pee on the floor. And that same thing happened when I was at that little winter shelter where we were forced to use porta potties. It was in Long Beach, in the winter shelter after I got kicked out of that transitional place. But I'm gonna talk about that. Excuse me. So at that place, um, there was somebody who had dark green sexual bodily fluid, like as if this person masturbated on every toilet seat every night. So I was forced to go in the porta potty and pee on the floor. One time a black guy was like, fuck it. You know, he I caught him, he had a long, fat, big, huge penis. And he whipped out his thing. He was peeing and had his thing whipped out in the open and was peeing in the garbage can. Because he didn't want to go in there in the porta potties and, you know, and people had to clean those every day. This the freaking life, and nobody cares. And this is nothing to y'all because y'all didn't have to live through it. Imagine, it would make me go freaking crazy. Me having OCD. They didn't want me to have gloves. They made fun of me for having gloves and, Lysol spray, rubbing alcohol, wipes, sanitizer. I mean, that was my COVID-19 right there. And then after me having my own personal experiences of being raped and then end up homeless, just a big mess. I told you the gay brother Mark lied about calling me back. I ain't gonna hear from him for like an indefinite amount of time. And I'm not gonna kiss his ass and call him either. Cause, wow. So, the video uploaded finally. The video of me talking about Blake from last night. So, hold on right quick. It's gonna take a couple of seconds for me to upload the video about this morning's harassment. Now this don't take that long to delete. Now, because I said it's gonna take me a few seconds now. It's taking a long time to say permanently deleting. It's still taking a long time. Okay, I'll just sit you right here and work on you another time because you don't take that long to delete. This phone is playing all kinds of psychological games. So, anyway, I'm not gonna worry about calling Mark back. That's why I say, like, any concern you got, you don't freaking care about me. It's all fake. Hold on, I'm coming. Because it take a long time, like take a whole hour to upload a 30-second video. That's how they roll. So, let me see what time that she did this offense. She did this offense at, well, it was filmed at 8:44 a.m. But it was before 8:44 when she pulled up. Okay, so it's 30-second video and it's taking like 8 minutes to upload. On my phone data, if I was standing outside, it would take like 3 seconds rather than 8 minutes. So anyway, Um, I mean, I got all kinds of gang stalking and abuse. They had that Jerry Curl head. I mean, not Jerry Curl. That dread headed guy, Haywood. Um, I think I talked a little bit about him too. He was a narcissistic abuser who was highly narcissistic and perping me. And he tried to say, well, you got to get your mental health straight first before you get housing. You know, and I had to cuss him out numerous times for being a jerk and an asshole and stuff. I fucking hated that man. And so, he was definitely a fucking sellout. So, you know, Miss Jennifer Singleton from the fake Keshin place, she said, well, they said that you were the one who's a, out of control troublemaker trying to control everybody else. And I'm like, no, you know, but they were singling me out and perping me and violating every pet peeve. And I would get into arguments with Miss Thelma and that fake bitch Adriana, the illegal Mexican fake bitch Adriana Gomez. I used to, you know, get into a lot of arguments with them. And I said, the way y'all treating me is like identical to how the foster mom and the foster sister Shelly and all them, how they treat me. And then Miss Thelma tried to play victim and cry and tell me that it's unfair for me to compare, you know, that it was unfair for me to compare them, you know. Now these people claim to be, y'all claim to be Christian and y'all perping me. But that fake bitch, what's her name? Akeelia Manuel Mills. Um, she professed to be Christian and talking about calling my staff bitches and this and that. Like, bitch, you a young ass fucking baby and all these old ass ladies. And how the hell she whored her way to the top? Akeelia, she's light skinned and she was light skinned and very tall. I saw her like in person like that one time, or maybe it was one day. She had supposed to have a meeting with me, and everybody tried to say she was understanding, nice, and caring, or whatever. So when she sat me down in her office, it's like the same kind of interrogation and bullying and abuse that that Illuminati fag downtown Pensacola YMCA GMO Wilma. They were narcissistic abusers who had their mind made up about me, you know. And Akeelia, or they say her name is Akeelia. Akeelia didn't allow me to talk. And come to find out, this bitch was only 6 years older than me. But she was the big boss. So I could have been like 28 years old. I was 28, so she was only 34. And she tried to talk well, I mean, she did have her high position. But guess what? On Facebook, I went and looked her up. I got screenshots of her throwing up devil horn hand signs. You say you're Christian and love the Lord, and you want to condemn me for calling your staff bitches, calling my staff bitches and stuff like that. Well, all y'all fucking bitches, and I told her that to her face, you know, and she couldn't say no more to me. So that day when I had that meeting with her, they called themselves punishing me and trying to kick me out cold on the streets. And they wanted to get rid of me so bad. You know, if you perp me, I'm going to call you a bitch. I'm going to cuss you out. I don't have to call you a bitch. I'll call you a faggot. You know? So, you know, I couldn't believe my eyes when I saw, like, you say you're Christian, but you got high positions in Los Angeles. You're rich as fuck. And last I knew, she's supposedly living in Riverside, California. And so she definitely sold out. And I don't know if she was mixed or Creole. And they said she was married to a white man. And I try to do some digging about, researching this Aquila person. But when I finally, researched her on Facebook, when I had that Facebook earlier this year, and I saw pictures of her throwing up the devil horns hand sign, she didn't even have that many pictures. But I think I remember she was throwing up devil horns with both hands. Proud devil worshiper. But you say you're a Christian and love the Lord. And then she has Reverend before her name. I'm like, since when? A 34-year-old? I never heard of a freaking 34-year-old female Reverend. And then Los Angeles has a lot of the Pentecostal charismatic bullshit. That's actual secret, like, devil worship and ecumenical movement, which is like the Luciferian transition from Christianity to New World Order, Luciferian initiation and stuff like that. These bastards say they love their Lord. They say they love the Lord, but they're already initiated. But I kind of like what I'm talking about in the earlier video. I only used the devil horn hand sign just to show y'all example of what she was throwing up. But I'm not affiliated or associated with any, Illuminati or anything. All I know is what I research. And so back to New Image Fresh Start. When they set me up over there, and I remember at the fake Kedron place, Henry Oliver was my case manager at the time, because I got rid of that Mary Jones lady. I got rid of her. She sounded like she was from New Orleans, and she was a narcissistic abuser, highly narcissistic. And I was at New Image Fresh Start, and she publicly humiliated me in front of all the other residents there, and she tried to say, "You are nasty, and you don't shower, and you got nerve to be doing all this. You got a fungus underneath your breast." That's exactly how the foster mom would say. And I'm like, I showered every day, but just because I had a fungus underneath my breast, I was still diagnosed with lupus off and on. And, but yeah, the foster mom used to be like, you got one little pimple on your face, and she'll automatically assume you're nasty and you don't wash your face. And we wash our face every day. We take a bath every day. So I still get acne in my face, dandruff, whatever. Take a shower every day. So I don't know why they act like your body's supposed to be perfect because you shower every day, and you can't tell them anything different. They got their minds made up. So or they'll make like, oh, you didn't shower good enough. Well, that foster mom, and you're the reason why I have OCD. So the lady, Miss Mary Jones, she tried to say, you are nasty, and you got fungus underneath your breast, and you got nerve to be doing all this. She said that in front of everybody. So she also acted like she thought she was my handler in Los Angeles. I got rid of her. But I didn't know at the time that I was being gangsta and being perped. And they definitely were perping the fuck out of me. And I dreaded and hated going to the doctor's appointments. And Dr. Lucas was the first black psychiatrist. Dr. Deborah Lucas was the first black psychiatrist I ever had. And she was the only one from Kedron that did not perp me or did not act like a narcissistic abuser. She even, didn't force me to take medication. And she even told me she, knew a little bit, about researching a little bit about the Illuminati and mind control and all that herself, because I was very vocal about speaking out against the Illuminati and New World Order and being all excited about wanting people to know the truth and stuff like that. but I was still had some under some deception, layers of deception too, because I didn't know about the New Age movement and stuff like that at the time, and I didn't know about the Christian or religious aspect about the Illuminati, because yes, there is a certain professed Christians are involved in the Illuminati, Pentecostal charismatic movement, certain denominations, certain non-denominational cults, Catholic, Independent Fundamental Baptist, Southern Baptist, Masonic. They all got this Masonic foundation. So I was researching heavy on MK Ultra and mind control, and that stuff is hard to process and research about. Fritz Springmeier, the Illuminati formula to detect and to create an undetectable total mind control slave. When I started researching and reading that, like in the beginning of 2011, I was still living in Denton, Texas, and it's like, well, damn, certain things I'm reading, I'm like, damn, am I MK Ultra victim? I had certain, and then they had the smart archives and satanic ritual abuse. They have this torrent. I have to go and find it. I think on my True DVD for Christians, they had I have a torrent file of ritual abuse. And I know some people have gone through way worse and more Satanism, but it seemed like growing up I didn't realize I had a taste of ritual abuse. They try to shatter and fracture my mind with keeping me locked up in closets and blame it on bad behavior and stuff. you know, so if people wonder why I'm so troubled, but I'm not nearly as bad as, I could have been. Oh, I'm surprised that the other video is uploaded now about the demonic noise. So some people show their devil worship by their symbolism, and people say symbolism would be their downfall. Um, so when all right, the gang stalking perp, the man he swapping down, he like, I got, yeah, like I think all these men can't be they can't like all these men in Los Angeles be like, well, I used to have a wife named Candy, or I got a wife named Candy. But Mr. Henry Oliver used to perk me. He's supposedly from Detroit, Michigan, and he, adopted that fake LA mentality. Almost everybody that work at, not everybody, but a lot of people at Kedron Mental Health would drive around in a Lexus. So, Henry Oliver, he used to do and say stuff on purpose just to make me mad and then laugh. And I overheard him telling, I think it was Victor, he was telling over the phone, she got kicked out the Union Rescue Mission. So I'm like, Mr. Oliver, like, why would you do that? Why would you say that? And so he's like, you don't worry about what I think. You don't worry about me. And he had all these like effeminate mannerisms and whatever, So I used to call him Sugar Fags. It was the nickname I had for him, Henry Oliver. He came after I got rid of Mary Jones and her horrid abuse. So, and narcissistic abusers are popular and well liked. And this lady was dark complected. She these narcissistic abusers walk around with an angry demeanor. and they're pretty much glorified as highly recognized in society and stuff like that. Now, whatever stuff the Kedra mental health people put in Miss Pam's head, Pamela Driscoll, who I call Ugly Hell Dyke Holes, or Pam James, whatever. She she put stuff. I mean, they put stuff in her head that she had a vicious kind of "I want to kill you" kind of hatred towards me when she saw me off first sight and turned her nose up at me. But Victor, her husband, would like she used to punk Victor and pimp him around and stuff. I think she was Victor's handler, and she was also a narcissistic abuser who was highly narcissistic. And she would drive a red, I think the truck was red, and I don't even remember what kind of truck it was. I think it was a red Chevy truck, like a Silverado or something. I think y'all remember it being red. And then Victor had a white raggedy, like a Pontiac Trans Am or something. Like she was living higher and better than him. So Victor, um, she used to order Victor around, like treat Victor like a total puppet on a string, and more uh, like the biological mom Frances used to say that my twin sister Brandy treat Dwayne, like her husband Dwayne. Brandy treats Dwayne like a yo-yo. You heard me? So like like Pam, she treated Victor like a yo-yo, like she totally controlled him. So Victor, from what I recall, he started off nice and normal and respected me. He drove me all the way from New Image Fresh Start and drove me down to I-710 and drove me to the place. He was the one who transported me. He drove me to 526 East Rhea, RHEA, 526 East Rhea Street in Long Beach, California. And I stayed there for like a couple of, like four, no, from like November 2011. I'm surprised I even stayed there that long. But like from November 2011 until February 2012. And I got my Section 8, like, because I didn't stay at that shelter, the winter shelter in Long Beach. I didn't stay there that long. And I'm glad I didn't. But it was rough living there because Miss Pam thought she was fucking slick. Well, Union Rescue Mission, they already did that. Waited until after they took my money to set me up and pick an argument with me for an excuse to kick me out cold on the streets. And then Pam was trying to do that, but it was like February 1st or February 2nd, and she didn't get that money out of me. She tried that with me, and she did like Pam. She looked like a dark brown skin version of the foster sister April, but she was very tall and skinny, and she was like 45 years old and used to dress like a slut. And I even looked her up the other day. Like she said, she had to be rich, and I remember her sitting us down and having these meetings and try to talk about how she was raped when she was 16 years old. I think she said her parents or something were like she was a descendant of slaves, and that her parents fought in the Black Panther Party or whatever like that. So this lady glorifies herself as a woman of God. But yet you abusing and perping and bullying me. You hate me for no reason without even getting to know, because of stuff people told you about me. Stuff people putting it in your head about me. So this lady wanted me dead so bad. She wanted me to die. And the day that she tried to, I got out of that transitional housing place before Miss Pam, I got out of that transitional housing place before she can get that $450 out of me. Cause I couldn't afford the $450, and she was mad at me over $25. That I was having to pay $425, and my income was like, I think it was 8 something, and plus I had a storage unit. I was paying on 2 storage units because I was still paying on a storage unit from Denton, Texas. Then I had a storage unit in Long Beach, and I figured, no way, I can't do this, And I still had some important stuff down in Denton, Texas when I had to leave after getting raped by the Giovanni guy. So it's like, when Miss Pam was sitting down talking that day and talking about herself, like she had this lecture to everybody, and she was saying that she lives in Signal Hill, and she tried to justify why she has to why she has to be rich, and why she has to live along the rich white people, that she making like she has to stay and living in rich white neighborhoods and stuff. She driving a nice new ass man's truck, while Victor is supposedly the little pussy driving a simple ass raggedy car. And so, I wouldn't have thought Victor would have sold out, but damn, like Victor didn't even tell us. It was the end of 2011. So I'm gonna post in the description box a link to Victor. Freaking, he didn't even tell us. I don't even remember what date this was with the lecture, but when Miss Pam was lecturing us, and then Victor, this was the first time Victor ever offended or disrespected me. He just came out of nowhere and said, because I was having problems with the roommates perping me and doing me shit, like stanky, dirty roommates who didn't take a bath for like weeks, and then no way in hell the roommate, like, I had a problem with people touching me in my OCD and getting close to me and stuff like that, and I was the problem or the troublemaker. It looked like perps are passing back and forth by my window. So when the roommates were perping me and causing me problems, disrespecting me, they would be dirty and then get close to me or touch me, and then if I spray with Lysol, they want to complain and stuff like that. So excuse me. So it's like that Pam lady, she treated me way worse than the family. Vicious, just strong hatred. So I'm gonna get to that. But when I asked, can somebody close the door? It's too cold outside. And then Miss Pam got an attitude and forcefully ordered me to go close it myself. And then next thing you know, she started to pick on me and start to single me out and lecture me. And then next thing you know, Victor just butted in. And this is the first time he ever changed. And he got mad and screamed at me and went off on me. Just because I simply freaking asked to close. And Victor was like her flying monkey, of course. Victor is Pam's wife. Pam was the fucking husband. So, the unvictorious fag Victor, he got mad and screamed at me and said, "Now you go ask Maggie, Marsha, and Aslan to help you. That's not my job. And you're gonna have to compromise." Like telling me I have to compromise with the roommates and stuff like that. But they ain't trying to compromise with me because you freaking perping me. And one of the roommates there, a Muslim roommate, perp was a narcissistic abuser who was highly narcissistic, and she tried to threaten me because me and her, she was perping me, and me and her got into an argument. And so I said, because at first the leader of like the transitional housing, the leader, like I guess the house mom, her name was Dion Crawford. She was black and delusionally believed she's white, and she was weird as fuck. Professed to be Christian, and she acted like she thought she was perfect. But her idea of being a Christian is she was a narcissistic abuser as well. But her idea of being a true Christian is to root for Tim Tebow. I've almost forgot his name. She root for Tim Tebow to win every Sunday for football. And so that's what she calls being a true Christian. All those ladies were fake hypocrites perping me. And then there was another lady who looked like the Deion Crawford lady. She acted like her life was very secretive. And she started off being really nice, but when that roommate had perped me, and then she got the hell out of there and left. When she threatened me, like the roommate, I don't even remember her name, but I used to call her Ugly Weird Dykes or whatever, and so I don't remember her real name. I think her name was Tony, Toni. So the Tony person, when me and her got into an argument, and I don't remember how the argument started. And she started, of course, because she was perping me. But I don't remember exactly what she did. And so she was also acting like very secretive. And so me and her got into an argument. And she said, and I said, oh, get the fuck, like we were arguing. And I said, oh, get the fuck out of here. And so she said, if I ever catch you talking to me, if you ever tell me something like, no, she's like, and she called herself trying to show me the door and say, no, you get out. But she didn't understand that, saying, get the fuck out of here, man. Like, leave me the hell alone. But I wasn't telling her, get out of the room. But you know how that slang, get the fuck out of here. Or they said, fuck out of here or whatever. Fuck out of here with that bullshit or whatever, So she's like, no, you get out. She took me literally. She took me very literal. She's like, no, you get out. And so then she said, if you ever talk to me like that again, you will not be able to talk. Now, do I make myself clear? And so, me trying to say stuff back, and she tried to overtalk me. If you ever talk to me like that again, you will not be able to talk. Now, do I make myself clear? I'm like, I'm not a fucking child. You don't freaking talk to me like that. So ever since that situation was when Dion Crawford, her name was supposedly spelled Diane, but pronounced the supposed French way. And like Dion Crawford, I remember she had really huge feet, and she was like about 5 feet 7 inches tall. And I used to call her Special Urkel because she was weird and dorky. Kind of reminded me of a fake hypocrite, Steve Urkel. Like, she was weird as hell, and very secretive. But at first, like, Dion made it like I was able to confide in her and tell her anything. And she acted like she used to love me, like extra love me. Like I was brand new there, and she bought me a whole $10 big extra large pizza. And then she let me have the whole thing to myself, So, and me and her used to talk like another Miss Verga kind of situation, where she can just let me vent about all my problems, and she will be there to listen. And she said, I don't care if it's 3 o'clock in the morning. If it's 3 o'clock in the morning, you can knock on my door. I'll be here to listen. You understand me? More like that. But narcissistic abusers, when they say stuff like that, it won't be much longer before they turn against you. Like retarded, deformed Carnell say, I will never leave you nor forsake you, just like Jesus. Before he said, quicker than he can say that, he got hateful and turned against me and started, perping me. But he been perping me all along, and I just didn't catch on. So anyway, so what else was I gonna say? All right, so now I don't remember. I think that's the only time I remember Victor disrespecting me, and I don't remember if it was before Christmas or after Christmas. Um, but the perping got and the abuse from the roommates got more severe. They had at least two ladies there that would use it. They were trying to use it to take advantage of my belongings, using it to take advantage of my food and money and everything like that. And one of them, she also thought she was perfect. Her name was Tuwanna, Tawana Love, and she had a pink tooth, and I used to call her Crusty Pink Tooth. And her and the other lady named Andrea, also from, where was Andrea from? Gary, Andrea, no, Miss Tawana Love was from Gary, Indiana. And I think Andrea, I don't remember her last name. She was also used to take advantage of people. And so one thing that's funny was Dion, who I call Special Urkel. It's like Dion acted like she was married to Miss Pam, like as if they acted like as if they had a secret lesbian relationship going on with each other or something like that. And same thing with Tawana was close friends with Dion, and they used to talk all day every day, and gossiping and discussing, talking shit about people every morning. And so like there was this man in a different place. He would knock on the window, and he used to be like, Dion, you in that bed? Dion, you in that bed? He used to be like, Dion, you in that bed? Dion, you in that bed? So anyway, I feel like, well, damn. I just stumbled the other day, a couple of days ago. Victor didn't even fucking tell us about this Christmas program. That's why I'm gonna try to find a link and post a link to the Christmas program with the singer Shanice. And I'm like, what the fuck? He didn't tell us none of this. He didn't even announce or tell us about this. Because I know that for Christmas, everybody was at their house that day. Like, why he didn't tell us? I know we're not supposed to celebrate Christmas or anything. But, like, what the fuck? Like, how he, like, Victor didn't even have the decency to freaking tell us that, well, hey, there's a Christmas event going on. If y'all want to come, the singer Shanice is going to be there. And he ain't tell us nothing. Like, that's fucking low down of you, Victor. So, so I wasn't sure if I was woke about the Christmas thing yet with the Illuminati and paganism and Satanism and all that. But damn, just the freaking idea, So I remember I guess I was still celebrating Christmas because I tried to make a dinner for the housemates, and everybody I bought like I went to the 99-cent store, which was like a block away, or a couple of blocks away. Now 99-cent store is like across the street from the Social Security office, and it's like the blue line train is like right in the middle. And so the 99-cent store, I went there and got me some potatoes, and I made some baked potatoes, and I don't remember what dessert I baked, but everybody treated my food like diseased. Nobody wanted to touch my food or nothing like that, and I had to deal with gang stalking and didn't even realize it, like illegal Mexicans blaring super loud music And um, there were a couple of times I was slept there, um, and I could have sworn that I felt an earthquake one night, and but it wasn't publicized, but I thought I felt an earthquake. And they had on other times a lot of illegal Mexicans blaring super loud music, and so yeah, I'm gonna post a link to Flex Alexander's wife, Victor, acting like all nice to her and stuff. And so yeah, we all us ladies were at that freaking house that day, and they didn't even tell us, and I just came across it the other day, because you know how they um they have YouTube recommendations and stuff like that, or suggestions of certain videos. And I only clicked on it. I clicked on it because I'm like, oh, whoa, new image shelter. Well, I mean, I wasn't at the main. I never even set foot at the main new image shelter, but I heard bad rumors about new image shelter, and so I was at the new image Fresh Start, and Victor worked with new image Fresh Start, and at transitional housing, you still considered technically homeless. So with the transitional housing, so um they said in order to get this homeless mental health section 8, that you had to be considered legally and officially homeless. They said you couldn't stay in hotels or anything like that. So it was super cold, and I remember walking up and down the streets of Long Beach all night long. And then for one night, and I almost got arrested because this lady had a medical emergency at the bus stop in Long Beach. And that was only a couple of nights, like one or two. No, I think it was 2 nights. I was forced to be on the streets, and then like the night of February 11th, the Henry Oliver guy tried to tell me I should go stay in a hotel, and it was very cold. And I remember walking down Pacific Coast Highway and other streets in Long Beach, and so then Mr. Henry Oliver had me go stay in he said any hotel, whatever. So I went to stay in this motel run by people Indian from India, and it was very expensive for this motel that had this dirty ass motel that had nothing. And then the very next day, February 12th, no, I'm sorry, that was February 15th that night, because it was February 16th, 2012 was the day I finally got my Section 8 housing and moved in South Central LA, at 8504 McKinley Avenue, off of Manchester and McKinley, in the Route 115 bus run right there. So I talked a little bit about Shanice, and well, not so much Flex, but a little bit about Shanice and you know, I researched a lot of celebrities, with the Illuminati and all, but I haven't researched as much, as I used to. But, every now and then I might still research, certain things, because it's hard to even find information, even on YouTube. It's hard. Like, I missed those 3 hour long New World Order documentaries, 3, 4, 5, 8. I even watched The Arrivals, but kind of found out I didn't realize The Arrivals was, you know, controlled out. And the Pandemic documentary, and Out of Shadows that came out like this year, I think they might be controlled op as well, because they ain't gonna be popular and famous like that and be all the truth. That's got some lie that you tell them, some disinformation that you tell them. Out of Shadows, I know, is got some new age, because you associated with David Icke. David Icke is not a real truther. Stop following him. So, and I don't care. You can get mad, get offended. David Icke is not a real truther. He's a new ager and a fake. And some people said that he was that he looked like an inbred reptilian himself. So, Shanice and Flex Alexander, their net worth is only $250,000. How does Illuminati and everything operate? I mean, she was kind of big in the 90s, and they try to market her to be the next Janet Jackson. And, but they said that she was too innocent, or, that she wasn't naked enough to sell records. They say sex sells. So I heard that when Shanice and Flex got married, and when she found out she was pregnant, they dropped her from the label. Okay, her Beyonce has babies. How come they didn't drop her from her music label? So that's the. I mean, and I wish people like Shanice would speak out. I think that she's an MK Ultra victim and been MK Ultra from born into it, pretty much. Her mom, they said, was a stage manager, mom manager. They said that her mom and her Aunt Penny her mom Crystal and Aunt Penny lived vicariously through her. They said she started singing that. Well, she said she started singing at 7 months old, and she was singing when she was 8. I think she was on Star Search when she was 11. They said that she was 14 or something and did a KFC commercial. I don't think I even know that commercial. She was the one who did the song "I Love Your Smile," and everybody thought that was Janet Jackson. And I like that song, but the song, I don't know if it has satanic subliminal messages. But if people mock Flex Alexander for having people mock him for having when he made that Michael Jackson movie, and then they said, well, he must have been really struggling in order to take on that role. He took a lot of persecution for taking on that role, and Michael Jackson was still alive back then. In 2005, like, I remember being in Costa Rica, and it was plastered all over the news about Michael Jackson being wacko jacko and a pedophile and stuff, And so then it was after Costa Rica, after Hurricane Katrina and all. We were in Milwaukee, and my brother, the biological brother Wyatt, kept watching repeatedly over and 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 over again the Flex Alexander movie. He kept wanting me to watch it with him, and he kept watching and mocking and laughing and making fun, So I don't buy the personal idea that they dropped Shanice from the label because she got pregnant with her first child. I think the real reason why they dropped her from the label, they wanted her to sacrifice her daughter Imani. But they didn't publicize. But this is just my speculation. And so this was my speculation that, ain't no label going to just drop. I mean, celebrities get pregnant and have babies all the time. So, and I realized, Shanice, her personality seems like outgoing, nice, friendly, can't get mad, 24-hour smile on her face, You know how they have some people who have a 24-hour smile on their face, like their smile is their normal facial expression, like always smiling, you know. And so her personality and demeanor kind of reminded me of Aaliyah, but I think she seemed nicer than Aaliyah. Like Aaliyah seemed like the type of person who was nice, but kind of like you could tell she would have a big side, you know. And so their upbringing kind of reminds me a little similar. Well, they both were on Star Search, and you know, so yeah, I'm wondering if they wanted to sacrifice that daughter. I mean, if they wanted her to sacrifice that daughter, and she didn't do it. Now the daughter Imani is 19. They have a son too, Elijah, and so no way in hell if Shanice put out at least a minimum of 5 albums from 14 years old, the 1987 Discovery album, and then she put out 5 albums. I used to have her album Every Woman Dreams, and the foster sister Shirley used to be like, "You need to burn me some of your Shanice. You need to burn me some of your Shanice." And she'd be like, "You need to burn me some of your Aaliyah. You need to burn me some of your Aaliyah." You know, like, bitch, why don't you fucking go buy the CDs your damn self? You're rich enough. You driving your mom's BMW for free, you know. So why are you gonna depend on me telling me you want me to burn Shanice's album, or you want me to burn Aaliyah's album, or you want me to burn this CD for you or this album for you? Bitch, go get your own. Like, and I never even questioning like how Shelly even knew I had Shanice's album. I know why. You snooped through my shit. That's how you know I got Shanice's album. That's how, well, of course, I was outspoken about being a Leah fan, but I was, you know, back then I was a fan of a lot of different celebrities. But was blind to the truth. You know, I didn't know the truth back then. You know, so you know, I had all these different celebrity albums and stuff like that. Um, I used to collect it and listen to a lot of music, and I've always been more of a music person than a TV person. But you know, every now and then I have my little favorite movies like Powder, Matilda, Romeo Must Die, Queen of the Damned. But I don't follow those anymore after being a Christian. You know, I would, you know, I don't even really watch movies anymore. And so, you know, I'm gonna make a confession that as a Christian, you know, I backslid from last year. I backslid and started to listen to secular music, more mixing, listen to Christian and secular music. And I know I wasn't supposed to do that. And music has such a strong hold over you. So it's a hard cycle to try to break that spell of listening to secular music. It's so powerful. Songs you addicted to like a drug. And I know about John Todd and the witchcraft spells the spells and incantations put on music, you know, before an album becomes, you know, popular and famous or whatever, before it's released. So I couldn't let go of the secular music, but as of November 28th, like, yeah, a couple of weeks ago, I said, okay, God, you know, I prayed and I said, you know, I don't want to go back into listening to secular music anymore. But I wasn't really watching movies, just listening to a lot of the music, you know. And so I want to break away from listening to secular music, and um, even some of the so-called Christian songs would be addictive too, because I guess they say the drum beats and stuff like that, you know. So anyway, um, I tried to research Shanice or Flex Alexander associated with the Illuminati. I couldn't really find anything. The only thing I found is like Flex um wanting to contact his brother through a psychic or a medium or something like that, which is forbidden in the Bible. But that's the closest to any Illuminati I saw. But I think a couple of videos I saw Shanice throwing up Baphomet hand signs, but I don't think she really got deep. And they say that, even though Aaliyah was wearing a lot of red and she was throwing up Baphomet hand signs and other satanic hand signs and Masonic gestures and stuff like that. But some people still feel like Aaliyah never sold out. But then other people say that she partially sold out, but didn't go all the way with the deal. Other people say that she completely sold out, and so everybody has their own debate or opinion on whether or not Aaliyah actually sold out. But I mean, we all know Janet Jackson and the Jackson family. There are people actually freaking saying Michael Jackson never sold out. But nah, I'll say it like this. People like Aaliyah, Shanice, Michael Jackson, other child stars, their parents sold them out. They didn't do it themselves. So, Lark Voorhees, her mom was her handler. Her mom sold her out. She didn't do that. The MK Ultra thing. So, like, the Bible speaks in the book of, I think it's in First Kings or Second Kings, talking about passing your children through the fire. Meaning, you sold your child out. And now your child got to be sacrificed. So you can get rich and famous. So, what else was I going to say? Like, I still have temptations of, urges to want to listen to secular music. But I didn't listen to secular music for willfully and voluntarily and listen to secular music for a long time. But, Shanice had been doing, like her and her husband Flex were doing their own reality shows with Oprah's own network. Now, like, if you're on that big of a network and y'all a couple and people mock and laugh at them being broke, and Shanice is considered a nice person, but she got a lot of haters for whatever reason. I don't know why a lot of people hate such a nice person. Well, I don't know her personally, but I've seen, her demeanor and her attitude, and they have people who act like they're perping her. So, if you on Oprah's big network, I don't understand how the hell you and your husband and y'all family, and you got at least 5 albums out, and she did a little bit of acting here and there, I guess. Her and her husband's net worth is only $250,000, not million, $250,000. And so they said that Flex had wanted to honor Shanice's, I forgot whether it was her birthday or their anniversary, wedding anniversary. And he felt ashamed to have to borrow $350 for a friend because he wanted to make his wife happy. And, everybody was talking about how their marriage is going strong. But I wonder if they try to frame and set him up. If he was on a one-on-one show. Excuse me. And I wonder, they try to say that he sexually assaulted a girl and that he would supposedly have to deal with charges. I don't know if he really did that to her. If he tried to, if he sexually assaulted or was trying to make sexual advances at a girl or something. One of the actresses on the one-on-one show, and I thought he was pretty big on that show. He was on that show with Kyla Pratt, and there was another actress, I don't remember her name, that he supposedly if I'm not gonna lie, everybody thinks Flex looks good, and he looked like the type of person who would be an unfaithful cheater or a player or something. He don't look like the faithful type, but it seemed like if he might have, and Shanice stayed with him, I don't even think they went through a breakup period. Like, they stayed together all these years, and that's the only situation I heard. So I don't know if they try to set him up like they try to set Kobe Bryant up. Then eventually Kobe Bryant, y'all know what happened with the plane crash, him and his daughter in the setup, whatever, and they compared that to Aaliyah's death. Wow, this stuff, it goes deep, they say, So y'all remember that singer Leona Lewis? It was another YouTube suggestion. Leona Lewis had, I only know her song Bleeding Love, and Leona Lewis, they say she didn't sell out. Now, they say she didn't make it. Well, she had at least a lot of albums herself. But let me see what her net worth is. Where is it? Oh, let me see. So they say that her net worth, and she was on X Factor, and wait a minute. So she was, Leona Lewis was Simon Cowell's girlfriend? Wow. So they're saying that Leona Lewis is, now I'm seeing different, some websites say 20, some say 30, some say 100 million. Now, if you got that many millions, how the hell you how is it that you never showed up? I mean, you never sold your soul to the devil. I mean, you got over 20 million, more than that. So now they're saying, so I don't know. They're saying Leona Lewis never sold out. I was never really into Leona Lewis, for whatever reason. But everybody thought she was so pretty and everything, but I went off on one topic to another. So I'm gonna have to entitle this an open talk, because I went on yeah. So I'm still working on that ebook, and forgive me, it's like 2:00 on the dot right now. And now it's 2:01 p.m. and I'm still sleep deprived and tired, and I'm about to go warm up lunch. 'Cause I went to fake Walmart yesterday to do some more, do some grocery shopping, a little bit of grocery shopping, and I'm glad I spent like $50 on food, and I wanted some fruits and vegetables, fresh fruits and vegetables too, but I still got a little bit of fruits and vegetables, but they got some, like, in a plastic container of fours, these diced mangoes, not canned, but there's in a little package of mangoes, and I'm hesitant to want to eat them because they say natural flavors, which is the They said aborted baby cells. I try as best as I can to avoid it. And I'm sitting there thinking I just got diced mangoes and just mindlessly just picking out food and then don't realize, like, damn, like, because I be, like, when I came here on November 25th, I was tired and sleep deprived. And, just wanted to get a little groceries and then just come here and just freaking rest, you know. So I just wanted to rest and I was tired. And I thought it was just maybe mangoes and, you know, mangoes in a little water or something, or mangoes in its own syrup. But, like, why the fuck do you unnecessarily add natural flavors? And I didn't know, because, see, throughout the years, I thought when they say natural flavors, I thought natural flavors meant um, natural mango flavor or something. Or the yesterday I was a little more careful when I got frosted shredded wheat. The chocolate flavor, for whatever reason, helps me sleep, but it said natural flavors in it. So the fact that it had natural flavors, I got disappointed and I put it back. The frosted shredded wheat, the chocolate flavor. So you would have thought it was natural chocolate flavor. So I didn't know that when they say natural flavorings and stuff, that's aborted baby and aborted fetal cell. It's like, that's fucked up that the FDA and stuff, that they're doing this to us. Um, and I hate to have to throw away food. I hate to have to throw away food. But, I don't want to be a cannibal. I mean, they have us cannibalizing without our knowledge or consent. And, you know, last year I felt freaked out when I read about, and sometimes when you're hungry and you don't have much of nothing and something is given to you that contains that, and you feel bad, like you got no choice but to eat it because there's nothing else to eat. You know, like, come on, you put aborted baby in just freaking applesauce, you can leave that out. Um, so, sometimes there'll be times when I buy something packaged and just mindlessly eat it. And then, because I'm just like distracted or busy or hungry or whatever and gone in a rush or whatever. Then I'm like, oh man. Like afterwards, I'm reading the package halfway through eating it. And then I'm like, damn. You know, so I don't even know if it's like, I mean, we all eating this without us. I'm not justifying or saying it's okay or nothing. It's like we all eating it without us realizing or consenting to it, or without our knowledge or consent. And sometimes, even if we're supposed to be woke to the truth, and sometimes we can slip and be mindless sometimes, and be like a sheep. And, well, I don't even want to use that word sheep, because I heard that the New Agers who claim to be the fake woke New Agers call Christians, um, whether you're woke Christian or not, they'll say you're dumb sheeple. And they said that that's a mockery of Jesus saying, "My sheep hear my voice." So, so I don't want to offend Jesus and Jesus people, by the fact that they call Christians dumb sheeple. But there are more lost Christians and Christians who are woke to the truth about this whole system and everything that's going on. you know, um, so it's offensive to Christians, they say, to you know, call you dumb sheeple. So They have this ebook called Die Sheeple Die, and it's speaking out against the Illuminati, but then blaming the masses and the victims of the New World Order, which is us, for not knowing the truth and never being informed of the truth. But I think more truth needs to be spread rather than freaking lies, TV, and music and deception and these false, glorifying wickedness fictional ebooks like the dark sci-fi fantasy and horror and stuff like that. So I got a headache and I'm tired. Thanks for listening to my crazy ass for 2.5, well, not 2.5, but over 2 hours. I'll see y'all asses later.